Are you ready to get down with the sickness? Well, that's good news because we watched Virus for episode 55 of
Milo and Milo Watch Movies. Milo and Milo Watch Movies.
Hey everybody!
Hey, everybody.
What's going on?
Oh.
Welcome to Mam Wham for a Sunday, December 5th at 5:15 in the p.m. You are listening to the lovely and talented Katie Milo.
Thank you so much. And you're also listening to the absurdly handsome and very witty Mr. Charlie Milo. And we're wishing you a happy last night of Hanukkah, which I had to read off a piece of paper because I forgot.
We're getting it pulled together here, folks. So happy last night of Hanukkah, and and this is the catch up segment. So
It's a catch up.
This is the lube before the up to the elbow with the overview.
We're trying to make it as pleasant a fisting as possible,
You
but
know what I'm saying.
fisting can only be so pleasant. So,
How was your past week?
it was pretty darn great. How was yours?
It was good. Had a few gigs. I think I had some gigs, right?
You did. You sure did. We went down to Pueblo
We
on
were in
Saturday
Pueblo on
night, which
Saturday
was
night.
dope.
That's right. The debut of Hamster Style.
Yep, which was very cool, which was Mr. Charlie Milo and a Mr. Christopher Combs on drums. So Charlie had some sweet-ass bass and his laptop going for a little
That's the laptop.
little DJ
project.
sitch.
That's the DJ project, the DJ plus drums project,
And then,
which is Higman, Martinez, and myself, with a question mark at
you
the end.
also were there doing some pretty cool improv.
And then the two groups formed like Voltron to create
One super group.
Hamster Style.
Yeah, that was pretty good, although I will say that the star of the show was me alone dancing in the bar watching you guys.
Thank you so much for letting everybody know that nobody else is there. This is the internet. We totally could have pretended that there were thousands of people.
There were
packed into
thousands of
Smitty's.
people. I just was the only one dancing,
That's
and
true.
now you've ruined it.
No, it was Katie, some regulars over at the end of the bar, and there was a drunk girl who came up and said that Katie was cute and cuddly, and she
Just always what you want to hear from another girl in a bar.
Well, she was there hanging out with her not boyfriend.
Mm-hmm. They looked like very similar. They were just very drunk, and
They were like
we
spiritual
appreciate them
brother and
for
sisters.
listening to the music.
Yeah, everybody who mentioned it said they seemed to enjoy.
Yeah,
what was
there were a
going
lot of people there energetically, my love. The
was-
room was packed full of people. You just couldn't see it.
Well, and it got lots of likes on.
Yeah, we also
on the
were in
internet,
Pueblo,
so
Holmes.
that's what counts.
We
is
don't
all-
live in
is all the
Pueblo.
likes and subscribers. Pueblo used to be banging. We used to have a little P-Town crew, but all those people were these fucking traveling kids. They come into town and they're like, "Oh man, you guys are awesome," and then they leave.
And then they leave. Such is the way of the wind.
They're like farts in the wind. These traveling kids,
Stinky and
but
passing
well-meaning.
by. But well-meaning indeed. Any hoozles.
Do we have any couple news or family news?
I got a couple of family newses.
Heyo.
Heyo.
We had a great Thanksgiving with my half of the family.
That was like weeks ago. We're in December.
Did we do that before? Oh, we did do that
We
before
did.
the next one. And we did.
Time is just flying.
Did we talk about Thanksgiving on the last one?
I think we might have.
Oh my God! Look
It
at
was
me
pretty
go.
good. It's pretty good.
So what's up with your book?
Well, I have a few in the works, and by in the works, I mean I have not written anything.
How are you thinking? How is the thinking about them progress going?
I'm doing a lot of progressive thinking. I don't know. I don't really have like a book yet. I have several short stories and a few ideas and, probably some sort of a memoir at some point. But too many dirty secrets to be aired just yet.
Tell us one of your short stories.
It's too long of a short story. There was a dog named Ned, and he was cute and wore an orange sweater. He liked Chinese food. The end. Almost more of like a poem, but maybe one day I'll write like a novella or something. I'm into that.
A novella only has to be 40,000 words.
See?
When I read that, I was like, holy shit.
That's doable.
That's inspiring.
Do you have anything in the works right now? Are you working on anything? Writing anything? Sculpting anything?
I don't write. Abram Colin Herders writes. No, I'm just kidding. He's the lyricist for the CMB and anybody else who wants to take those goofy lyrics. Yeah, I don't think so. I think that I'm kind of balls deep in the beats right now.
The beats do smell like your balls.
I've been doing a lot of beats and been trying to figure out more ways to just sort of flood the internet with content rather than be like, yeah, I guess that's a revelation I can share about the music stuff is I think that just putting shit out there now is more important in any way, shape, or form is better than trying to put an album out and then a single out and then a music video in the traditional sense. And it's more just sort of like, it's more of like the shotgun blast approach with a bunch of little pebbles versus like, one strong bullet or like a bazooka or something.
I feel like
or like a shoulder launcher or something like that.
I feel like I get that. And also I feel like both. Like, yes, lots of content, but also your albums are sick.
Well, and I thought you were going to say, and then every once in a while have like a special thing come out, like Crimson. Hey, that's a
news.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, Saint Bernard just released a new album. You can find Crimson
that motherfucker
online anywhere that you can find music to buy and or just stream.
Spotify,
Pandora,
SoundCloud, iTunes. Amazon, the Amazon Music or whatever.
And you're looking for Crimson.
Yep. By Saint Bernard.
Saint Bernard.
ST period, not spelled out period, just the period. Bernard.
Just the symbol. It's pretty excellent if you're into just some dope ass mixes.
Sorry.
If you're into deep breathing and frustration. It's pretty good. You know what? You should just check it out. And if you don't like it, let us know. And if you do like it, let us know. So
hit us with the overview, Katie.
Well, okay. So we watched Virus, 1999, Jamie Lee Curtis.
98.
So the internet said 99.
Did it really?
So I know it was filmed in 97 and then it was released. Maybe it was on the cusp, but it said 99. So we
have
can
the
say,
DVD case right here. Let's check it out.
Indeed we do. So basically we're looking at a movie with Jamie Lee Curtis, Billy Baldwin, who is like the third best Baldwin. And
copyright 1998 Universal Studios.
Okay. Well, you won that one. And also Donald Sutherland is in it because, of course, it's the 90s. So essentially we have some folks on a boat who come across...
They're on a what?
They're on a boat, motherfucker.
They're on a boat.
They're on a boat. Don't you ever forget. They come across an abandoned, like, Russian ship. They don't know what it is, but they happen to be salvagers. And so they realize, oh my gosh, maybe we can get a bunch of money from this boat. Obviously, Jamie Lee Curtis is skeptical. Donald Sutherland's already counting his money. And Billy Baldwin is kind of unsure of what he should be doing. So long story short, they get onto this boat, find that the machines are somehow working by themselves. The computer seems to be alive, and it turns out that an alien has shot through a satellite that was connecting to the ship and has taken over and is basically living through power sources and is trying to collect parts of humans to create something that is sustainable, because this alien life form can't live outside of a computer unless it finds an energy source, and a human is a self-sustaining energy source. So we find some creepy human robot hybrids and basically a ship and these like not very advanced robots trying to attack these people. And that's about it. Would you say I missed something?
Take us through the rest of the movie. What happens to Squeaky?
Well, I guess if we're gonna get deep with it, so to to circle back,
I'll do this with that.
okay, sorry, he's like pointing at me, and I don't understand what is happening. We also have like 18 million pens and papers, so Charlie in theory could write me messages, but he chooses to mime, and I do think he's a cute mime, but sometimes. So basically, yeah, I mean, if I want to get more into detail, like, you know, there's some sort of space station in the beginning, and a purple mist overcomes them, and that's where we think this thing came from. The creepy parts are that this robot alien situation / computer starts taking over members of the crew, and so Squeaky would refer to Billy Baldwin's friend, because Billy Baldwin is an everyman, and he somehow is the engineer. Question mark? His face looks like he doesn't even know where he is, and he's supposed to be
Donald Sutherland
responsible
is the
for
captain.
things.
Jamie Lee Curtis is the navigator.
Yes. Billy Baldwin is the electrician / engineer. He goes into the like, he goes underneath the boat to like turn it on and deal with the power. Like,
okay.
he's that guy.
Uh,
Squeaky also is that guy who has not many lines.
Richie is the electrician, is like the smarts.
Yep. And there's also Richie, who's an electrician, and that will come in handy later.
He's the engineer.
He's the engineer,
Like
and
the
then
worksman. Like he can put a lot of shit together, and we find out early on that he can crunch numbers.
That's true.
So
He
you
does
know
tell
that he's
us that.
smart.
And he at some point randomly talks about how he used to be in the service and he can like MacGyver anything.
And in one of the deleted scenes, because we have the DVD, he makes sure to put even more of that exposition out in front before he starts messing with gizmos and stuff like that.
Right, because
later on in the
obviously
movie.
they're going to build some sort of bomb to destroy this alien.
At some point, yes.
The other part the other thing is that they sort of acquire a new crewmate, because when they're searching this abandoned ship, they all think that everything's hunky-dory. They're talking about their money, and all of a sudden Billy Baldwin opens up a locker, and this person with a
supply locker in a nurse's room where
Right.
Jamie Lee Curtis is sewing up Moana.
there's another crew member in it who's supposed to be Maori.
Played by Cliff Clavin. Huh?
Somebody pooted.
Did you just fart?
Nope. Sorry, we have our 3 dogs with us, and somebody just ripped ass.
Was it you?
No.
It wasn't you. You're blaming your fart on the dog.
Yes.
Do you think that somebody shit? Like, should I open a door real quick and just make sure? I mean, I didn't see them. You don't think it could be the Chinese food, could you?
No.
No.
No, it's with somebody's butt. It's dissipated, but we should keep talking.
It dissipated and it died.
So all of a sudden, a person starts shooting, falls out of this locker, and
Gas mask for no discernible reason.
that's true. And we come to find out that she's the lone survivor. The lone surviving Russian from the ship tells them
The
that
lone survivor wits.
she was doing some sort of research with the space station, and somehow this alien got in, and catch. That's not the virus. We are the virus.
Yes, they get the computer open, and they Richie figures out how to fuss with the computer and talk to the being that's trapped inside all the electronics. And it turns out that we are in fact the virus. And so after that, they're like, "Well, what do you want?" And he's like, "Your body.
Yeah.
It would like your body." No, it wants spare parts.
Yeah. It says it is self-aware, but it is not self-sufficient, and so it wants spare parts. And so then of course Donald Sutherland decides to try and negotiate with it, and is like, "Hi, I'm the dominant being because I'm the captain.
My name is Bob.
How can I help you?" And so he sort of goes to negotiate with this robot, and it felt a little bit like Die Hard, where who's the swarmy friend? Jeff? who's gonna go talk to Hans baby for the group.
Ellis.
Jeff. Jeff. Ellis, right? Like, this felt a little bit like that, where he's like, I got it, don't worry. And then he gets himself killed. And in this iteration, Donald Sutherland walks back into the room to meet the rest of the crew, and he is half man, half machine.
So,
and it is fairly creepy, and also his accent starts to come out real strong.
Resistance is senile, number one.
Indeed.
And number two, so what I was able to gather after I watched the behind the scenes footage and listened to a little bit of the commentary and deleted scenes and all that crazy crapola, with the captain's body, or parts of his body and other body, or maybe his brain or something like that.
Yep.
The whole computer is able to get into that thing and walk around free of wires, because there's no wires attached to the back of him. And so once that sort of gets exploded by Nadia, right? She shoves a grenade into his side and explodes him.
Yes.
And he gets tackled bravely by Billy Baldwin.
And like falls through 5 levels of metal grates.
And
to
so
his death.
I think that what we're supposed to deduce is that was going to be the self-contained unit that could like move and groove and do the robot and all that stuff. And then once that didn't work, the Goliath thing was the end result. Basically, it needed like a big enough body, for which doesn't really make a ton of sense. You'd think it would survive in like a teeny tiny
like
little thing
right?
that would infect something. Like, what if it was like, oh, we'll engineer germs? Wouldn't that be crazy?
That would be.
Anyway, I can't write a better movie than these people. For
No,
them.
it's impossible. Especially from like the 90s. So it's like old school computers and everything has a wire. There is no real internet.
I should say that I really, really liked this movie. While I'm talking trash about it, like the only thing that's really missing, the only thing that makes this movie like bad is that it's kind of like bad.
Yeah.
Like,
so basically, what Charlie said before we started this is the only thing that makes this movie bad is the plot.
Like if none of these people talked. If this was like a silent movie,
it'd be
about,
way more interesting.
it would be way easier to watch and cooler, and it'd probably fit more like robot effects in there, and it'd probably only have to be 45 minutes long and stuff.
Well, and I think it's also worth noting that the director was known for special effects
on James Cameron movies. So I think he did. I want to say that he did The Abyss.
Yep.
And
some of Titanic, where he was on the crew.
So the back of the DVD also says a horrific featuring horrific special effects by the artist behind the Jurassic Park films Species and Starship Troopers.
Okay.
But so I wonder if that was all John Bruno, or if he was like, no, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna be the director and film the special effects really well.
It's a good question.
But I can't remember what it was. It was like it's not on, but the Trinidad Studios. That's not what it was, but maybe
Triad.
Was it the Chinese
Triangle
gang group? The Triad.
The Triad.
No,
I don't know.
Maybe they were the the Jurassic Park film Species and Starship Troopers special effects people, while John Bruno and company did the effects and shit. Steve Johnson and Eric Allard were the robotics effects designers.
Okay. And
one of those dudes in the behind the scenes saying that this is the first time for a movie that robots have been built
for the movie itself,
rather than just like a puppet, like somebody's arm in something that's like robot looking.
Yeah, this definitely is the first movie we've seen that didn't make me feel like we were watching like puppets on acid or something.
Well, and this was the special effects I thought were really cool, especially for the late 90s.
I would agree. I mean, they're like, it's I mean, the human robot hybrid is definitely scary. Like Donald Sutherland with his like re-sewn together face and chest, like that's
So
creepy.
when
to
he
me.
walks out and says, "You don't recognize me,"
Yeah, he's like, I'm still your captain.
you have to respect me. I'm still your captain. I'm just kidding. I love ya. Always have.
He's gone full Irish, Scottish. One of the issues.
His original line was like, "It's me, Bob." And apparently that line did not test well with audiences. Why don't you think that line tested well with audiences?
Honestly, because you literally never know his name is Bob.
Yeah, that's
he
what I
calls
thought,
himself
too.
Captain, or when he's trying to first communicate with the beast or
He's
the
trying
alien,
to
he
slick
says,
talk the
he
Goliath.
says, "I'm the dominant species. My name is Everton," and like does this whole like Everton like thing.
Everton.
So then to be like, "It's me, Bob," you're like, "Who the fuck is Bob?"
Bob Everton.
Also, like, what a weird time to get casual, bro.
It's me.
It's me.
I think you farted earlier and you're blaming it on the dogs.
I definitely didn't because
Hopefully
I
there's
wouldn't
not a
have called
shit
it
around
out.
somewhere.
Like I wouldn't have called it out because
Yeah,
there's literally
you were
nobody
shitting on
fucking
me
here.
for miming earlier, and then you tried to mime that you could have written down on a piece of paper that one of the dogs had farted.
Yeah, but like I don't call your shit out. I'll let you fart in peace. No, if I had farted, I would have literally said nothing and just like left it happening.
And
and then
would have been like, ha 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 ha.
It was just thick in the air. So now that we've gone through that incredible overview,
Oh, wait, we missed the end. We didn't. We
the
got to
end.
get the end of the movie. So
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. They're like, we can't let this ship get to land. We're gonna explode. We're gonna sacrifice ourselves,
Right.
and explode this ship. And that's when they end up running into Bob. And they're like, we're going to dump all the fuel out of like a just random fuel dumping valve
Right.
into the engine room.
Which just happens to be on every boat is just all that extra fuel that you could just open with a spigot.
And just dump right into
Just dump right into the room.
I guess when I was watching that, I was like, I guess we're supposed to believe that off screen they
Yeah.
like redirected the fuel to this
there's
thing. Yeah.
there's a number of moments of suspended reality, but like obviously there's the big suspended reality of like robot, alien, half human man thing. But then there's the like, where did they get this? And like, how is the room just like full of fuel? Where did they get all these bombs from? Because all of a sudden they just start like having bombs.
Right.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
in the beginning, they're like, "What about these?" And he's like, "Oh, be careful! Those are thermal grenades or whatever. They'll blast a hole right through the ship." And then they just use them like wantonly later on
and like
in the
throw
movie.
them around
Yeah,
and
totally.
are super cash and it's like, oh, I can drop this. It's fine.
Hot potato,
Right.
hot thermal grenade.
And then you're right. There is a lot of like, I'm going to sacrifice myself. No, I'm going to. No, it's me at the end because Jamie Lee is like, I'm going to sacrifice myself. Then Nadia literally does sacrifice herself to
The
kill
second one, right?
the
second
Goliath. Yeah.
Or is it the biggest one that she kills?
So she kills both Donald Sutherland and then she kills the biggest one. So that's that.
Bigger jaws.
She shoots some flammable gas. We think maybe oxygen. Could be anything really. Doesn't
No.
matter. Just tanks.
She pulls a flare gun out of her waistband and,
And shoots it.
and shoots these nitrous oxide tanks.
or whatever they
And she
are.
kills a bunch of fish fans in the process.
And then they die, and then there's still a detonated bomb on board, of course. And Richie, who we know is this engineer because he told us in the beginning that he was super smart, somehow figured out an ejector seat into a missile silo. And it's and like, you know, Billy Baldwin's like, there's only room for one. Jamie, you have to go.
Wait. How does Richie? So Richie comes back to help something. I can't remember.
He basically shoots a missile through the wall to try and get Donald Sutherland. He misses. He ends up dying in the process. But as he is saying his last words and Billy Baldwin is over him, he's like, "Go to the missile room. You'll understand."
Oh, okay.
And then he dies, and Billy Baldwin literally like goes like, and like kind of like quivers and then doesn't cry, and then that's it. And so then there's an ejector seat set up that clearly could fit more than one person, and they're like, "No, you can't." And so Billy Baldwin is going to sacrifice himself, and then literally at the last second, as the bomb is about to go off and they're gonna die, she like grabs him, and then it's kind of slow motion, like putting the seatbelt on him and hitting the buttons and turning it on, and then they like
Yeah, it's
eject.
kind of
Like everything is
he
like
made it for one, and it's got to be you. And then she just
takes
goes,
her
nope.
sweet ass time.
Or no, she's
Yeah.
just like, nope, it'll fit both of us.
Yep.
Without any sort of other
Explanation or like reason.
They were. I think they were running out of time to
Yeah.
like fit it into the.
So then they
hour
get
and 40
shot
minutes
into the air
at
and
runtime.
land in the ocean.
And
The
she
ship explodes.
She's on the side of like a little rowboat, and she wakes up next to Moana.
And Billy Baldwin in the ocean, and so she like swims over to this guy to be like, "Hey,
Hiko.
Moana, are you alive?" And sees his face, looks like it's been
He grabs her wrist, and it looks like he's fucking one.
Like it looks like he's one of the robots. She screams,
but then
and wakes up
in the
safe in the arms of Billy Baldwin in a helicopter, literally flying into the
sailing
sunset.
off into the sunset.
But
that's
face,
the overview, motherfucker.
But her face at the end in the helicopter is weird. Like she doesn't look relieved. She doesn't look like she's saved.
She's like,
she
"Don't touch
looks
me, Billy
like she's
Baldwin."
kind of like foreshadowing the dream, but like nothing really happens.
And we also don't see who the helicopter.
Who's flying the helicopter?
It could be a robot. It could be one of those little crabby robots from the beginning.
The helicopter itself could be
Krabby
a robot.
The helicopter itself could be a robot. In the comic book in which this is based on, I'm not sure if I saw this correctly because I didn't read it because I didn't have time or really care that much. But I saw a panel wherein they're like running up to a ship, and they're like a jet plane or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, we could fly out of here." And then the ship like morphs into some like Godzilla looking Tyrannosaurus Rex thing and is like, "Brr," and comes after him.
That sounds cooler.
So this originally was a comic book, but the
Right.
comic book was originally written as a movie script because the guy who came up with the idea didn't think that the effects were realistic enough at the time.
Interesting.
And then he, I guess, as maybe after Jurassic Park came out or something like that, he was like, "Oh, fuck you." So yeah, it should say here based on the Dark Horse comic series Virus, created by Chuck Pfeffer. Pfeffer.
Okay.
So, what was your favorite part of this movie?
Oh boy. Well, I don't know if I actually. Well, okay, so it was all right of a movie. I think
I thought
maybe
it was rad.
I liked when. So I don't know if I liked it. I guess I liked like the engineer and the missile. Like I liked Richie like coming back and sort of being like a badass.
I liked Richie doing like sort of going from like the "man, this shit is fucked up right here" to like the "this is a good part, I could use this."
Right.
Like,
I would have
I
liked to have watched a movie about him.
That would have been cool. Like starting from him, like maybe walking up to this tugboat and getting them carrying the bar. We don't get a lot of explanation on like why they're all working
together, where they've come from. Like you know that they're scrappers.
Well, because when I first watched this, I thought this was like a ragtag crew, sort of like fucking Armageddon, like the crew, like the oil rig crew, and then it becomes clearer on the second viewing that they've been like hired individually by Captain Everton or something like that, and some of them know each other, but yeah, I think it would have been cooler if we would have like seen somebody walk up to the boat and because now that I'm thinking about it, we are never in one person's like shoes enough to be like, oh my god, this this would be terrifying if it happened to me.
That's a good point. It's also, I was thinking, it's hard to know who the main character is.
Right.
Like, on some level, it's like, oh, Jamie Lee Curtis, right?
She's the biggest face on the cover, so.
She's the biggest face on the cover next to Stephen Baldwin. I mean, Billy Baldwin. Pardon, Stephen. I was going to say, that's how Charlie feels about the Baldwins, evidently.
Shout out to Panda Express for not properly cutting up their broccoli tonight.
Oh, shit, get it.
I almost died like 2 times.
Oh, my God. Sponsor us, Panda Express. We would love that.
Shout out to Bang. That's the one I'm going for.
All right, get it. Biggity bang. Yeah, I don't know. Donald Sutherland, also a big star. I guess I also thought, what was your favorite part?
Yeah, Donald Sutherland, arguably a bigger star than either William Baldwin or Jamie Lee Curtis, gets third billing and no FaceTime for this cover here. Oh, the tagline, by the way, because one of the early things we talked about doing was all the taglines and shit. Earth is in for a shock.
Shit. Boy, ever.
I think the comic book tagline was "It is aware." So the comic was like "Virus, it is aware."
And the virus thing, the machine at some point says, "I am aware." Like the virus speaking was creepy. I thought the special effects were cool.
Well, fuck yeah.
Did you have a favorite part, baby?
My favorite part was, okay, so you know how a lot of times
Thanks.
in alien movies, the alien creatures are depicted to be like so advanced and intelligent, and the shit that they come up with is beyond our grasp at the beginning of the movie, and we have to somehow find a way around it at the middle of the movie to come over, and all that shit.
For sure.
I really liked the idea of like this is a primitive alien species, even though it's bodiless. So it's like it's just like traveling through the universe, sort of like, trying to grab onto whatever the fuck it can reach. And so once it's able to like get into this boat that has enough scraps laying around that it's able to put together a body, it still is like guessing throughout the movie what kind of perfect body. Is it like a human is it like a human robot hybrid like we saw the first one was like Alexei with the robot, and then later on, and then like the little, it seems to have gotten down the little crab things, but it's still working on how to get itself into a body. And so the final solution is just like, you got to go big.
The final solution.
The final countdown.
Final solution was in the Holocaust.
Oh shit.
This is a different final solution.
Well, I mean, you know how I feel about the Holocaust.
I sure do.
Not real.
I was going to say. This motherfucker doesn't even think it happened.
No, I'm absolutely 100% not a Holocaust denier, but I'm
obviously
I like the joke.
Married to a lovely Jewish gal.
And learning how to not say "just kidding" after every joke.
And a Nazi, right?
As well as learning how to not say "LOL" after every funny thing that I type.
Ooh, deep cuts.
Like if they don't get it's a joke, then fuck them.
Yeah, we could do a whole separate podcast just on the language in text messages. But I appreciate you, and all of your bullshit. So what's your least favorite part?
My least favorite part about the movie is that I feel as though if John Bruno were the special effects director of this movie and James Cameron were the director of this movie, people would be having like virus watch parties to this day, and like people would be walking around with shirts that say virus on it and shit.
Maybe not these days. It's like a little too close.
It's a little too close to home. Oh yeah, I watched some reviews on this. I watched some reviews on this, and they said, well, now that COVID's happening, it's a great time to watch Virus.
Oof.
Which shows you how seriously everybody's taking this whole
Rough.
thing.
That was like when people were talking about watching Contagion. That shit is scary and essentially the exact same thing that happened
Outbreak.
with COVID and Outbreak. Outbreak was great, but that's Dustin Hoffman and a monkey, so it's a little different. And Rene Russo.
You always hated monkeys. And
It's true.
Contagion
It's true.
didn't have Dustin Hoffman running from one room to the next going, it's airborne.
No, it just it's airborne.
Did you?
No, it just had Gwyneth Paltrow like being Gwyneth Paltrow and then
making
dying
making that vagina candle face. Like she makes the face.
of a vagina candle.
No, she makes the face that somebody else makes when they smell those candles. She makes that like, and I'm dead face. And then Matt Damon comes in and goes, "What happened to him? What happened to him?" After you smell the vagina candle.
Matt Damon.
I like how.
Oh, we appreciate you, Matt and Gwen, but not that much.
Yeah.
You don't give a shit about us. We don't really give a shit about you.
I was gonna say, when's the last time Matt Damon paid a bill of ours?
I tell you what, they've really been slacking on their holiday cards.
Although I gotta say, it was pretty cool that Matt Damon went up into space and traveled to Mars for that commercial.
That was cool. That was very cool.
Man, I didn't even know that was possible, but I guess
Well,
after I
you
saw
know.
a celebrity do it, now
Yeah.
I know that people can literally travel to Mars.
That's true. No, it didn't happen before, but now
No.
it's possible.
Well, I mean, in the movies it was fake, but I mean, this
Well, but
was
have
like,
you seen the Jetsons? That was
that
was a documentary about
no,
a
the Jet-
family.
Come on, the Jetsons was a cartoon.
Are you sure?
This was a commercial, so it has to be real because they were trying to sell cryptocurrency.
Because they were trying to sell the
Fake
moon.
money. You can tell it's a real trip to Mars because it's a commercial about fake money, about a Ponzi scheme.
Oh, shit. Well, I guess Bitcoin not going to be sponsoring us.
So what was your least favorite part?
My least favorite part was when Matt Damon didn't really go to Mars. My least favorite part, honestly, I was kind of bored at the end. Like, my least favorite part, I think, was the ending. So I didn't love that it had the like shocks,
Scary Moana.
the like jump
The
scare,
sharks swimming in the water.
the shack. Like it had this weird jump scare, which would have been cool if it had just ended like that. Because then you're like, oh my god, maybe it got out.
Right.
But then it just flashes to them like on the helicopter. So it's not even like they're technically safe. It just seemed weird and unnecessary.
It seems like they were trying to fit it into like the 90 100 minute slot, and they were because it seems like there's a lot of like not slow, but it seems like there's a lot of like set up, and then it's like finish.
Yeah.
And they're sailing off into the sunset on a helicopter.
Yeah, and we did see some deleted scenes. So, and I'm sure that those weren't the only deleted scenes. So possible that this ending had more to it, and they like cut stuff, or like, you know, you're probably right, because we did see some weird scenes, including obviously Billy Baldwin and Jamie Lee Curtis kissing, which
I'm glad they cut that out, because I think
I want to talk about something that makes you want to jump ship.
I was gonna say it's kind of cringy, and I think that it makes this movie stand up on its own a little bit harder without there being like a and obviously,
well, because don't get me
they
wrong,
fall in love.
I love a good sloppy kissing scene. Like, I'm down to watch people fool around on like a movie screen. Like, sure.
Well, yeah,
but
there's no,
nothing.
yeah, there was,
And they could not have been less attracted to each other. Like, if they had tried.
well,
There was no sexual chemistry whatsoever.
if I may be so bold, Doctor,
you may.
I think that Jamie Lee Curtis was trying to go for the a man could also do this role, like not like, I feel like that was maybe a little bit that was like a slice of like what 90s woke was, which was like way less fucking egregious and getting in the way of the movie than like today's like woke messages flashing across the screen. But I think what was going on is she was like, no, I want to play a role in like a cool sci-fi horror movie wherein my gender doesn't have much to do with anything else.
Right. Because, like, I'm just a strong, dope-ass character.
Right.
And I'm also a woman, but, like, it's not
which
right.
I think that we should start including Foster because, you know, whenever people say there have been no strong female characters before fucking Brie Larson and Captain Sucky Ass Movie.
Well, but
that's
what
the
about
new title of that
Weaver and
movie. Is
Aliens?
Captain Sucky Ass Movie. That's right. Well, that's now what Foster should be included in. Is what I was going to say.
Okay. If you would only get there, goodness gracious. I would agree. She definitely is a strong character, and I know that she talked about, like, and it's Jamie Lee Curtis, and so she talked about, like, in the 90s, like, I'm an actor. It's important that you're not just like, oh, you know, nice tits, but
well, she got that out of the way in Trading Places.
Well, but also, like,
chesticles.
I wanted Billy Baldwin to be the one with nice tits. Like, why couldn't he be like,
save me
something? Like, he has the appeal of like a fucking cardboard box, and he's a goddamn Baldwin. Like, he even has a little bit of the look. But, like, even their, like, sad dog eyes cannot save him from this movie.
Billy's time's about to come.
Because Alex
shot that bitch on that movie.
Oh, my God. Oh, shit.
Alex Baldwin shot that bitch down. Rest in peace, whatever her name is. Isn't it fucked up whenever a celebrity murders somebody that we instantly know the murderer's name over the victim's name?
Helena Hutchins.
Is that her name?
I believe so, or
good
Hutchinson.
For fucking you.
Yeah. Sad.
But
don't condone violence at all, but it's
but now Steven and Billy and there, you know,
nope,
there was
it's not going to be Steven. Steven is a born again Christian who is Hailey Bieber's dad and Justin Bieber's father-in-law, and he literally does nothing but like fucking love Jesus.
He just collects those J-Beebs monies.
It's bad.
Well, I guess it's Billy's. It's Billy's turn.
So there's Billy, and then there's also it's Stephen, William, Alec,
and then there's one with like a broken chain around its neck. That's like, thanks for letting me out of the attic.
And then there's one other one whose name is Biff. Something like that. He did. I remember he did a lot of cocaine, which I suppose doesn't differentiate because they all did all the cocaine. Yeah, I don't know. The other one was on Celebrity Rehab that one time.
Wasn't that Billy?
Nope.
Oh, I watched that whole shit. Get it, Billy Baldwin.
Get it, Billy Baldwin.
Fuck Ralphie May.
Oh shit.
Was he on the one with Ralphie May?
No, I don't know.
I remember watching the one with Biz Markie and being
That's
like,
Celebrity Fit Club.
Oh,
he was on Celebrity Rehab.
So Billy was on Celebrity Fit Club. Dude, these guys got to get their shit together.
No, he wasn't. Billy Baldwin.
None of the Baldwins were on Celebrity Fit Club.
I'm going to have to call the Baldwins.
Dude, where's my phone?
Somebody better get a Baldwin on the phone.
Hey, Siri. Was one of the Baldwins on Celebrity Fit Club?
I mean...
Hey Siri.
Hey
Siri, was one of the Baldwins on Celebrity Fit Club?
No, but Biz Markie definitely was.
I found this on the web for Hey Siri, what is one of the Baldwins on Celebrity
Good
Club.
God, Siri.
Daniel
Baldwin, that's his fucking name. I remember he was on Rehab.
Oh, Daniel Baldwin.
Daniel Baldwin. You know, it's got to be rough to be...
Daniel is mostly famous for his appearances on reality TV shows such as VH1's Celebrity Fit Club, Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here,
oh, yeah,
Celebrity Wife Swap, and Celebrity Big Brother, wherein he played the Big Brother.
Oh, my God. Wherein he played the house they all lived in. Not great. Also, that's a lot of
Hey, I'm a celebrity.
shows. Shit. Well, he's got all the shows. Alec Baldwin has all the kids.
Alec Baldwin shoots people.
Stephen Baldwin has all the Jesus, and Billy Baldwin
Has virus.
must be the normal one, I guess.
He's like, my brothers are crazy. I'm
pretty
I'm
sure
an
he's
actor.
married to one of those singers from Heart or something.
Hey Siri, who is Billy Baldwin married to? We should just
Oh,
have.
shit. China Phillips!
And they're still married, which
And
is
her
nice.
father was in the Mamas and the Papas.
You're right.
Fuck
And,
yes.
She is a member of the vocal group
Hart.
Wilson Phillips.
Wilson Phillips. Not Hart.
Not Hart.
That's Nancy Wilson. Oh my god. That was incredible. Do you think we could get a copyright infringement for that rendition?
No, usually if the cover has artistic merit, then it doesn't get fucked with
Okay,
copyright.
that
shiznick.
100% had artistic merit. Well, I mean, I guess, so overall, would you recommend watching this since we discussed our best and our worst parts?
So we got through the best and the worst, and we were going to talk about the bonus features, but we kinda,
Fuck those
we kinda
bonus
talked about the
features.
bonus features
Fuck them.
throughout. Fuck them. They don't like you for being yourself. Fuck them.
100.
6
degrees?
degrees from the last movie. Hit it.
What was the last movie again?
Senior Skip Day.
Oh, right. God, I forgot it because I
Hola.
don't want to exist.
I am Senior Skip Day. Every day is Skip Day for me.
Shit.
So, Billy Baldwin was in Virus.
No, you can't do it like this.
No, you start from the movie and go to the last movie.
Oh, do ya?
Oh, you know.
Do it.
Yeah,
Do it.
Billy Baldwin was in Virus.
Okay.
And he's brothers with Alec Baldwin, who was on 30 Rock with Liz Lemon.
Tina Fey.
Tina Fey, who worked on Saturday Night Live. With Norm Macdonald, who was Mr. Rigetti in Senior Skip Day.
Nice.
Was it? See, I think, because I could have just said Billy Baldwin is brothers with Alec Baldwin, who hosted Saturday Night Live that Norm's on.
In fact, you could have said Billy Baldwin was on 30 Rock because he was for an episode. He played Jack Donaghy. He played Alec Baldwin in the movie of his life. And
Was
so you
Norm-
could have just said
Norm
that.
was never on 30 Rock. was
No,
he? You should have been.
he should have been.
But I got to do more research. I spent a lot of time writing shit for this episode and stuff. I think that if you can do it in under 6, you have to somehow stretch it out to 6.
I think you're making up your own game now.
6 degrees of being a fucking badass motherfucker.
That was good. I'm impressed. You got there fast.
Thank you. You do it. So that I can be impressed with
No,
your ass.
I'll do it. Okay. Let's see here.
John Bruno was the director of this movie. He's the special effects on
Titanic.
He worked on Titanic. I don't think he got an actual credit though. He was on the research ship that went down and checked out the actual Titanic.
I don't know if I have a 6 degrees for this. Plus, you already did it, so you won.
What about Jamie Lee
Yay!
Curtis? Can you connect Jamie Lee Curtis? What if we do Jamie Lee Curtis to who's Leah Thompson or Tara Reid?
Okay.
There you go. Do the bitches version.
You are terrible.
The salad version. Salad degrees of separation.
You are awful. Let's
What can I say? I'm
see.
a patriarch.
It's definitely not even what that word means. But at least you tried. Okay. Leah Thompson was in Back to the Future. with oh shit. With Michael J. Fox. No, he doesn't. He has Parkinson's disease, which is different.
Like it matters.
Michael J. Fox.
Shake, rattle, and roll.
I don't have it. I don't got it.
All right.
I'm
good
lost.
Job. Would you recommend somebody
You
watch
fucked
this?
me up.
Would somebody recommend this movie?
Maybe. I mean, I'd give it a watch. It's not so bad, but not more than one, probably.
Okay. What about this? This is a fresh perspective. How does Virus stack up against House of Wax, Orphan, Troll, and Senior Skip Day?
It's probably up in the top 3. So probably Orphan is a little better than this. Maybe.
Yeah,
I mean,
Orphan almost felt like too good to review. Like,
Yeah.
You know, or,
I mean, it definitely is fun. And I think there's been a lot of movies like this since. So if I had seen this like first when it came out, I think it would have been like, holy shit, this is a whole new type of movie. But, you know, like computers coming alive, self-aware computers is so much a part of like the lexicon of like sci-fi stuff for us that, you know, Billy Baldwin is just not. He's a wet towel.
I would recommend it if you're looking for like a rad like a fucking like 90s sunglasses movie. Like you could definitely get like a pizza and a 2-liter soda and like smoke a joint and watch this movie. You know what I mean? And not take it too serious. Like this
For
is
sure. This is not a serious film.
So I would definitely like this is probably my favorite movie that we've done on this program so far. But it was still crazy enough that we could talk about like plot holes and fucking whatever.
Glory holes.
Well, why wouldn't we? But speaking of glory holes, last time I was on the other side of one, I made the guy make the monster noise from this movie. You remember that?
Well, if you were doing what you were supposed to do right, you should have been making that noise anyway.
That's what I said. That I made him do that noise with my mouth.
Oh my god.
With his penis on my tonsils. I don't know why I just turned gay for this podcast. You've been making me watch too much of this fucking Drag Race and Queen of the Universe and shit.
That's crazy. Nobody's sucking anybody's balls in those shows. Although they should be.
I think when we watched the fucking reunion.
False. I have not seen anybody do anything with a glory hole.
Utica and fucking the really
Olivia Lux were hanging out, but nobody filmed them having sex.
Nobody filmed them, but they copped to it. And you are not even gooped or gagged enough about it right now.
I think you're a little too gooped and a little too gagged.
And also, I think that Candy Muse and Joey J probably 96th, you know, where they lay on their sides away from each other.
Not looking at each other. That sounds about right. Yeah. That's called the Bronx Surprise, actually.
All right. I've got my shout-outs written down. Do you have any shout-outs?
Yeah, I'm shouting out to you for being a butthole.
You're a butthole. I'm glad I married you, butthole.
Me too.
Okay. If you would like to be featured in the shout-out section on this show, just right now, I mean, since we're starting from the fucking bottom right now, just send me a message on Facebook and say, hey, would you mind shouting me out on the show? And literally all you have to do in return is like share the link when it comes out so that we get like lots of shares in the algorithms and all this shit.
Algorithm us for friendship.
So I want to give a shout out to the Front Range Bump Collective crew.
That's pretty dope.
Stephen Morissette, aka DJ Trebloff, Stony Jamal, and then Michael Madrano, I think that's his name, and then the rest are bandmates. So I'll break them up by that. So shouts out to the crew, which is Martin Higman, Chelsea Martinez. Shouts out to Chris Combs in Hamster Style, and shout out to the Barely Garcia crew, which is Eric Blackmore, James Phillips, and Terrence the Terry Bob Roberts.
I'd like to give a shout out to the Paw crew, who are Ned, Joey, Lola, always chilling with us. Our dogs, our buds, our best friends.
They're the best. And so after the shout out session, we have fan mail.
Did we get anything in the mail?
Oh, I think we got one. Let me just pull one out of the bag here.
Mailbag.
We get so much mail that we got to pull one out of the sack, and only one can be featured.
Only one out of the sack.
So
but
here
please,
comes
if
out
you
of
would
my
like to
sack.
be pulled out of his sack, write in.
Here it is.
All right.
Take it away, Katie.
Woo! Dear Mom.
Man wham, motherfucker.
It's definitely not what this says. Dear Mam Wham, I am your number one fan. The first time I heard you guys, I felt overjoyed. I could not believe a podcast could be so full and yummy. Your role in saving my life was chewy and ample. Sorry about the stains on this letter. They come from chocolate strawberries, not blood and poop. It's helpful that they clarified that. I was about to ask what the fuck this was. I've created a collection of cassette tapes to remind me of you guys. My bedroom dresser is your shrine, lined with mini discs. My ambition is to go to Sydney together and engage in some serious spinning. I'd make you cake and then we'd watch X Factor until the sunset. I'd love it if you could reply to me. Tonight would be best. Oh, say you'll be my spinning partners, please. Please enclose some strands of your hair from my ever-growing collection. Please eat a shit sandwich and go to hell. Jordan Wheat. Thank you so much for writing in, Jordan. That is really lovely. And not the least bit creepy.
I think he kind of lost it at a few points in there, but thanks for writing in.
It did stray a little and go to some dark places, but we don't judge you. We're just glad that this is a light in your life right now.
Yes. Thank you, Jordan, for writing us this message.
So we would really love to join you in Sydney, Australia, but it is quite a costly plane trip. So if you'd like to sponsor
if Mr.
it,
Weed is paying for it, then I'm down.
You know, I could potentially be down. We'd have to work out some dog sitters, but then we could figure it out.
I think they allow dogs in Sydney, but I'm
not sure. If you bring your dogs into the country, though, they hold them for a while because they have to quarantine them.
Really?
Yep. Almost every country does that.
Now, or have they always been doing
They've
that?
always done that.
Oh, well, man, fuck going to other countries.
There you go. You got it.
And
so,
fuck
you know,
Jordan Wheat.
No, Jordan. Thank you. I'm also wondering, Jordan, if you've ever considered writing, since you have some wonderful adjectives and interesting ways of describing your experience.
Yeah,
I'd be down to read your memoir.
It's not at all as though he used a fan mail generator and filled in some Mad Lib style adjectives here and there.
What? That's
so fuck you, Jordan. No, I'm just kidding.
So, as there was nothing really to be asked of, that was really just a lovely, lovely comment. Please
doo-doo and blood.
Send us your emails, your messages, your mails, send carrier pigeons, whatever seems right. And we will read it or talk about it on the air.
Yes, we will. So if you want to shout out, message us. If you want to write us a fan mail, message us. And or if you already have our number, just send us a text. Or if you have our home address, send us a...
do not come here.
If you have our home address,
do not come.
Send us a... do not come.
Do not come. Oh, I'm going to come.
Yeah. I think that's the best note to end on. Cheers, baby.
Cheers to you. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
See you next week.
See you next time.